Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for coming to my channel. My name is Young. This is my first video on my channel that I'm actually speaking in. So it's on my cell phone and let's go ahead and see how this is gonna go. So I ended up picking up the new Springfield Echelon FC last week after they brought it out to SHOT Show 2026. I've always wanted the Echelon, thought it looked super cool. I am currently running the Hellcat. And when the Echelon came out, I was like, psh, let's go. My wife currently has this Springfield 1911 operator, chambered in 9mm, shoots super flat. It is a 5-inch full size. However, does fantastic. And I wanted something like that because the Hellcat, I don't know if anyone has shot one or if you own one, but that is a firecracker. I wanted something that shot a little more flat, something that's gonna be a little better in my hands. I do have decently sized hands, so the grip on the Hellcat was quite small. So here's the Echelon that I did pick up. This is again the Springfield Echelon FC. FC meaning full size frame, compact slide. Super nice, where for compliancy, we are no ammo, nothing is chambered, we are clear. So with this here, cold hammer forged barrel on this guy. You got a 4-inch barrel, again, full size. It does come with 3 different back straps on here. So I currently do have the medium-sized back strap, which feels really good. I did put the small on there and try the large, and they were just not for me. So I left the medium-sized back strap on that guy. I did get the Surefire XC3 on this as well. The firearm on the Gear Up package does come with 4 magazines, and it also comes with this Viridian, which is the RFX 11 green dot. Now, I did have the Holosun 407K GR on the Hellcat. Tried putting it on here, but it actually was a little too small. So I did not consider the fact that that was a subcompact and the optic sizes may be a little different. So I will be looking towards the Holosun EPS or the Holosun SCS. If anyone has experience with any of those, please comment down below. I am leaning more towards that SCS, but always like to know what other people are experiencing. The nice thing about this guy, so it's actually made from HS products in Croatia. So it's imported in by Springfield Armory here into the United States. So it's the same as the Hellcat, the Hellion, for example. This is actually their duty gun from what I researched and what I looked at. So currently law enforcement in Croatia and the military is using the Echelon. So the Gear Up package is pretty sweet. Again, came with firearm, came with the optic already. It did come with 4 magazines. Now, I am in Colorado. For those who don't know, Colorado does have a magazine restriction of 15 magazines. So 15 rounds in a magazine. So with the 15 rounds in a magazine, I had to get the special ordered as none of the local FFLs had them in stock. But it did come with 4 15 rounds. Everywhere else, if you don't have any restrictions, you'll actually come with a 17 and a 20 round magazine. Even though we have the restriction here in Colorado, the nice thing is though, however, is if I ever move to a state that doesn't have any restrictions, then this actually will still take the 17 and the 20 round magazine without having to modify anything or change the frame. So the frame and the slide stays the same no matter what restriction you have. Yes, that also includes the California restrictions on their firearms. All they do is they change the spring and the plate on the magazines themselves. So this is still interchangeable between the 10, 15, 17, and 20. I don't know anybody that makes the extended, but if you're one of those extendo guys, then I'm sure that'll fit on there as well. Nice thing about this firearm, you got nice deep serrations on the front, nice deep serrations on the rear. Not only does it look super cool, but that helps when you rack the slide. It is ambi controls on this here. So you've got ambi slide release on the right and the left side of the firearm, as well as magazine releases on both. From what I did read and some videos that I've seen, a lot of people didn't like the magazine release on the right side here, just because when you hold it, I guess sometimes you can accidentally hit that guy. I haven't had any issues with it quite yet, but only time will tell since I haven't even shot this guy yet. So in comparison, from the FC, this is what I used to run. So this is the Springfield Hellcat. The Hellcat, let me do this real quick here. We are clear. So the Hellcat, again, you can see the difference when it comes towards the handle. A lot smaller. So for my hand, it was real difficult for me to actually get a good grip on this guy. I do have the extended 15 round magazine on here. So with that extended base plate, it does allow me to get somewhat of a grip. But with the factory magazine, which is an 11 round magazine, you can see my pinky's far off. The other problem that I had with this guy here is that obviously it's a 3-inch barrel. Great for concealing, phenomenal for concealing. It's also less than 1 inch wide. So this actually sits to be 0.9 inches. So the other problem that I had with this guy is actually the fact that you have a 3-inch barrel here. With a 3-inch barrel, this thing kicks like a mother. Now, the nice thing about the 3-inch barrel, obviously, is for concealment, and I think that's where they knocked it out the park there. You got the 3-inch barrel, super small firearm. You've got here 0.9 inches in width, so super concealable. But when you shoot this guy, if you haven't shot a Hellcat, or anyone who owns one, you know, I mean, this thing snaps your wrist pretty good. And it can be difficult to try to stay on target if you want to try and fire back to back or rapid fire. So being that I wanted to get something a little more flat, like my wife, she owns that 1911 operator, I went ahead and got the Echelon once they announced it. Saw a couple videos, of course, and talking about how it's the best of both worlds in terms of concealment, and as well as how it shoots. That's the option that I went for. Now let's talk holsters. I had the hardest time trying to find a holster for the Echelon that would actually work with the XC3. So a lot of the holsters that are out are going to be for a lot of the Streamlights, like the TLRs and such. But trying to find one for the XC3 was not easy. So the one that I did find is actually from a company called Tenicor. Never heard of them before. Looked pretty good. The nice thing that I like about Tenicor is that they are actually one of the only holster manufacturers, at least that I found, that has a holster for the XC3. I was told recently that the XC2 shares the same platform or same footprint as the XC3. I didn't know that, so I could have been probably okay for the XC2, but if I could find a designated XC3, of course I'm gonna do so. So for those who have never heard of Tenicor, because I've never heard of Tenicor until I bought my Echelon. So the nice thing about this one here, I mean, if you just look at this guy, it has a built-in wedge, which is awesome. The way that the edges and corners are rounded, super comfortable. Of course, you've got your clips on that guy, which the clips also are adjustable on this side and here, depending on your comfort level of where you put it on your belt, if your belt loops in the way or whatnot. And you can also cant it. So these are also cantable. Cantable, is that a word? Sure. The nice thing with this too is, unlike other companies, the screw base is actually a one-piece. So there's a one-piece screw base here, and then also for each of the guys here. So you don't have to worry about having to hold it on the other side. You don't have to worry about having a screwdriver on this end and a screwdriver on this end to try to get that turn. it's just on a plate. And then the way that they set up the inside here of the holster, it's actually grooved out for that plate. So once you put that plate in and you start screwing in, it doesn't rotate, and it's pretty seamless. You can actually do this with one hand, to be honest with you. Now, I did get their magazine holster as well, which is this guy. Great design, comfortable. This is a inner waistband magazine holder. It is cannibal as well. The only complaint I have with this one is that it is tight.
That's what she said.
I even loosened up these guys quite a bit. And then when I put the magazine in, I actually couldn't get it out. So I had to take it back off my belt loop to be able to remove it. However, it does break it. So I've probably put this in and out 10 to 15 times. It's loosened up, so it actually works pretty easily now. So there's that. So again, with the Tenicor, you know, I was real nervous once I got the Echelon about how it's gonna feel carrying appendix. Now I'm a pretty big dude. I'm 5'10", 240 pounds. I have a gut, yes. So with the Hellcat, being that it was only 3-inch, I ran Tier 1 concealed, the Access holster. Love Tier 1 concealed, had many of their holsters. Unfortunately, they did not have one with the Echelon and the XE3 combo, so I tried Tenicor. I can wear this thing all day. The way that they have the wedge set up, how it's rounded, it is so comfortable that I actually had this on all day from 9 a.m. till I made this video. So it's 7. And I could barely tell it was there. Sitting in the car, getting in and out, super comfortable, no sharp edges. I didn't feel it digging into my pelvic area. It was actually a lot more comfortable running the FC in this holster with a light than running the Hellcat holster with no light. As concealable that it is, it was actually pretty uncomfortable driving in a vehicle. So, and the other thing that I do like about this Tenicor, it's the Velo Lux that I got. So it's kind of cool. They actually have the model and the firearm printed on every single one of these guys. And by the way, yes, the FC does fit in the 4.0 C Echelon holsters. So I know there's a lot of questions on Reddit, people asking about that and such, but the Echelon C Compact 4.0 and the FC shares the same exact design, slide, length, all that jazz. So this is a Echelon C holster that I have with the FC. So the nice thing about this holster too that I do like is that unlike most holsters where when you put your gun inside of the holster, if you're light bearing, a lot of times the retainment is on the light, which can be good, can be universal, so you can use multiple firearms as long as you have the same light. If you don't have a light, a lot of the retention is going to be on your trigger guard. And a lot of you guys do know when you put your gun into your holster, you hear that audible click, which that audible click means, hey, I have the trigger guard. Some disadvantages of that, some manufacturers, your gun can still be loose on the retention because the retention is going to be on your trigger guard. And with the pressure on that trigger guard, I've actually had holsters crack right where the retainment screws are and the trigger guard because of the pressure and from moving around and such like that. So what Tenicor advertises, which is real nice, is that their firearm or their holster actually retains the entire firearm. So I don't know if you can see inside. but there's really no grooves there for the retention on the trigger guard. This actually puts tension on the entire firearm from the slide all the way down to the light. So, I mean, this guy retains really, really well. And it's funny because they advertise it that way and they have the retaining on the entire firearm itself and not just the trigger guard. It comes with a kind of like a pamphlet, I guess, in the box that says, hey, your firearm will get scratched up. The finish will wear because that is what it's supposed to do. It is retaining it from the slide all the way down to the light. So pretty much it's not for, I forgot what they called it, but you know, in the auto world, pavement queens, pavement princess. So it's not for those guys who wants their firearms to look all pretty all the time, but that's what it is here, guys. Springfield Echelon FC, Tenicor holster. If you have any questions, comment down below. And next video I will have up would be about the Radical Defense CS5 suppressor.